Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us.
What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas. Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
Good morning, Huntsville, and welcome in on normally a tactical Tuesday with Jason Thompson of Guardian Defense. Jason is unfortunately out. He had a medical procedure done kind of unexpectedly, unfortunately, over the past week, and so he's going to be out for some time, but we are still going to be here on the show on Tuesdays and support Guardian Defense, and Jason is on the road to recovery, so just ask that you keep him in your thoughts and prayers as he gets better. We love him very much. He's a close friend in the Thompson family, and we're going to miss him here over the next few weeks, but he should be back with us before too long. But we are here on a Tuesday. I want to welcome you in. Thanks for being a part of this show, as always, as we get started. Get up and early this morning, and, man, we hit it right on 7 o'clock today, so we want to make sure that we're up and running with you guys and that we're celebrating all good things happening here in Huntsville, Texas. I was going back and looking, and it's hard to believe we are now on episode 136 here on October the 24th as time continues to move on. As you're joining us this Tuesday, be sure to chime in. Let us know that you're out there this morning. We'd love to hear from you as always, and we always enjoy hearing what you're up to. Let us know what you're thankful for this morning as you're waking up here in Huntsville. Skies, as always, as we continue through this fall, getting darker and darker outside. A little bit different this morning as you're waking up. We didn't have any rain like we did yesterday, but right now, overcast, 73 degrees, very muggy outside, 90% humidity. So if you're stepping outside, you already know what to expect this morning. It is muggy and humid, and mainly because that dew point's at 70 degrees. So the higher that dew point is, along with the humidity, of course, it is going to feel pretty, I won't say rough outside, but you're going to feel the humidity. The wind's blowing out of the southeast as well. That always helps out. Hey, but today, going to be another warm day. Not too bad. Mostly sunny on your Tuesday, 86. I was about to say 96 degrees, man. Nobody wants that. 86 degrees overnight tonight, looking at lows in the 70s. And then rain returns to the forecast starting tomorrow. And so, friends, we're going to expect rain starting on Wednesday, with the best chances actually happening on Thursday. 70% chance of showers on Thursday. Those will linger on throughout Friday as the rain chances continue to pick back up on Friday at 40%. And more of the same as far as the temperatures go. We're going to stay in the mid-80s the rest of this week. And then finally, a little bit of a cool down starting up as we head into next week. A front's going to come in on Sunday. We'll have lows at 63, and then Monday we'll get back to more seasonable weather at 78. So looking forward to all the great things happening, and the good news is hopefully rain will be out of the forecast on Halloween night. That's going to be next Tuesday. So it's already a week from now that the trick-or-treaters will be out and about. And let us know, too, this morning. What are you going to do for Halloween? What are you going to do for fall? Fall festivals going on all over town. Bridget and I really enjoyed heading over to the Williams Ranch this past Sunday afternoon. I was feeling a lot better, doing a lot better finally, and so we got out for a little bit and enjoyed an afternoon there at Williams Ranch. Didn't even know it was here. I mean, just 15 minutes outside of town, their second annual fall festival that they had. They had horse rides going on. You could take a picture with a longhorn, which was really cool. They had s'mores going. They were giving that away for free. Opportunities to paint pumpkins. They had a petting zoo. Pigs were there. Llamas, emus, alpacas. I don't know the difference between a llama and an alpaca, if I'm even saying that right. So somebody this morning hopefully help me out. Let me know what the difference is between those two animals. But it was a lot of fun. So if you're looking for a family-friendly event and a place to just really enjoy and be here in our community, it happens every Saturday and Sunday over at the Williams Ranch. You can search for it on Google. Just search for Williams Ranch, and information will come up. And tickets are very reasonable. I think we paid, it was like $15 each for Bridget and I, and then children 12 and under, I think it was 10 or 5, something like that. It wasn't too bad at all. So it's a really fun opportunity for you and your family to enjoy a fall festival. Speaking of which, a lot of area churches and other organizations are having festivals as well, and you can head over to our website at hellohuntsvilletx.com to find out all the fun things that are happening throughout our community. Things already getting started. I mentioned the fall festival at Williams Ranch, but Sundell Senior Living Center, they already had one this past Sunday as well. And there's even midweek events happening. I know our friends at Huntsville Toyota, they're having an event, and so many others as well. So again, if we're missing something on that guide, make sure that you let us know. There's a contact page right below the website there that you can send us more information, because I know some churches have said, hey, we're having one too. Can you get us updated? And so let us know about that. Of course, at First Baptist, big events happening too, as we'll have our fall festival getting started on Wednesday. So coming up tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Family Life Center. So it's just right downtown, right next to the Walls Unit downtown. You'll see the church, and then there's the Family Life Center. Open to anyone. Doesn't matter where you go to church. Doesn't matter how big or how small your family is. Bring the kids out. Have some fun. And we'll be there from 5 to 7 tomorrow evening. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know possibly expecting up to 200 young people. So bring them out. And it doesn't matter if, like I said, if you have one child or 20 children, bring them all, and we're going to have some fun tomorrow at FBC. And again, you can find out all that information on our website at hellohuntsvilletx.com. A lot of friends already letting us know that they're out there this morning. We want to give a shout out, as always, to Clay Talsworth over at 0 Degree. By the way, giving away more Skittles. We have tons of Skittles that we're giving away this week. Kyle Kreiner won the tub yesterday, and this is the only way that you can eat candy is freeze-dried, or at least Skittles. Clay, by the way, man, you gave me some of those candy corns thinking that I would like them. At the farmer's market, you saw my reaction. I'm still not a candy corn fan. I'm sure that whoever is a huge fan of candy corns will love the freeze-dried ones. Man, they just weren't for me, buddy. I'm still trying to get that taste out of my mouth from this past weekend. So, but otherwise, everything else is wonderful. Appreciate you joining us. Clay chiming in saying good morning, Huntsville already today. Jennifer Augustinetti, appreciate you saying it's a terrific Tuesday. Have a blessed day. Jennifer, as always, great to hear from you this morning as well. Kyle Kreiner, who we just mentioned, he's letting us know that he's out there saying good morning also. And then Jennifer wanted to share also some information, and appreciate this. I went out yesterday and voted. Super easy. You can head over to the Walker County Storm Shelter just outside of town over by the Harts Veterans Museum. Went over there yesterday. It was such a simple process. And I did want to encourage you, there is a lot of stuff on the ballot. I'll be honest, I went in a little uneducated. And so there were several things, unfortunately, that I did not vote on because I didn't understand what they were. And so do your research before you go in. I'm going to give you that little tidbit of information. And if you haven't done your research or you don't understand what's on the ballot, don't vote for it. I'm not telling you how to vote, but if there's something on there and you have no idea what it is, don't just say yes to say yes or no to say no. There was 3 or 4 things on the ballot that I just didn't really understand. And you can go to the Walker County elections website and see a sample ballot, and so you can really do your research and homework. I've voted every year, and like I said, there was a ton of stuff, especially things going on with the city, and a few of those that I just didn't really fully understand. And so make sure that you do your homework as well. Unlike me, don't just show up and vote. I'm going to be a little transparent this morning, but there was just a few things. Other than that, there was other things that I understood, but there was 5 pages that I had to flip through. But even through all of that, it still went very, very quick. And I think I was in and out of there in 10 minutes or so, and super easy with the way that the election machines work and all that. So get out to the Walker County Storm Shelter, cast your vote, and take advantage of our freedoms here that we have, not only in this community, but throughout our country as well. It's always a good time to get out and vote whenever we can. There's different races going on, too, of course, with our mayor here in Huntsville. If you live in certain wards, you're going to see certain folks pop up there that you can vote for also. Because as I was leaving, I said, wait a minute, he wasn't on my ballot. And then I started thinking, oh, well, I don't live in that ward, so obviously he's not going to be on my ballot. So just make sure you get out, take advantage of that. Jennifer, thanks for the reminder. It's going to be open all week, by the way, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I think the hours are a little bit more scrunched next week. But again, just go to Google, search for Huntsville Walker, search for Walker County elections, and you'll find out all the information that you need to know as well. Wanted to say, too, hold on. Clay was saying something else this morning. Clay was saying giving out freeze-dried candy in Spring Lake Estates for trick-or-treating. Man, check that out. So some kiddos are going to get some really delicious treats. I was about to say, man, Clay, you're the guy in town. When you start thinking of candy, you start thinking of Clay and Halloween, and he's giving out freeze-dried candy in Spring Lake Estates. So going to be a lot of fun for the youngsters coming up just a week from now. And Jennifer was also letting us know that Northside Baptist having their fall festival Sunday from 4 to 6. I've been joking around all week, but I'm serious. You can literally find somewhere to go almost every day of the week, and maybe you can load up on your candy, and then you don't have to go spend $20 a bag. We were at the store at Costco Sunday evening before they closed, getting this was after the Williams Ranch thing, and we were over there, and man, candy is getting so expensive. We had a little trivia here on the show, I think it was last week, about what does the average American family spend on Halloween candy? And I think it was like $20. I don't know where that stat came from. That must have been from 20 years ago, because just one bag, even at Costco, was over $20. And so, yeah, go take advantage of these fall festivals and load up. And maybe you won't have to spend. I've been seeing some signs from some churches in real big, bold letters around town that says truckloads of candy. I don't know if I want a truckload of candy, maybe when I was younger, but, as I'm approaching 40, I don't want a truckload of candy. Just a few pieces will be fine. Want to say hi this morning as well to Grace Wakefield, waking up with us, saying good morning, everyone. Grace, so great to hear from you. And also today, Tammy is chiming in as well, saying good morning, Rob. Well, friends, we have a great show lined up today. I know, again, Jason Thompson of Guardian Defense not able to join us. And, again, please keep him in your prayers as he is on the fast track to recovery. And we hope that he'll be back with us here in the next few weeks or so. But he is not with us. But today we do have a great friend, Vickie McKenzie. Vickie McKenzie Real Estate going to be joining us, giving us some updates as we check in with her once a month. She is one of our real estate experts here on Hello Huntsville, and you can find those articles under our featured guides and events under Real Estate Experts. So we'll have Vickie here in just a few moments. She's already in studio, and we'll pull her on here again in just a few moments so that she can give us some updates. Let us know how she's been. It's always a lot of fun having Vickie on. And continue to let us know that you're out there this morning as you're waking up with us. Let us know what you're thankful for today. I'm not going to beat around the bush about it because, we're positive on this show. But, man, at least here's the silver lining. At least the Lone Star State is being recognized in the World Series. Just an unbelievable season for Houston. I know a ton of Astros fans, including myself, are out there. And I'm not a fair weather. I've been an Astros fan almost my entire life. But it was just tough to see how things went down last night. And if you're an Astros fan and you had tickets and you were hoping for a win, man. I'm sorry, especially if you went to game 6 and 7. But nonetheless, it was a great series, and congratulations to the Rangers for moving on. So at least our state will be represented in some form or capacity. And, you know, I was up in Minnesota whenever the Texas Rangers were in the last World Series, and it seems like, you know, they were there back-to-back, and it all came down to one strike, and they never could get it. And so hopefully this year it won't come down to one strike for those guys. So even though I'm an Astros fan, I give credit where credit's due. I think this is the year for the Rangers, and hopefully that they will move on and bring home that pennant, you know, that they really deserve. They played really well. They took advantage of mistakes by Houston. You know, all series long, I was watching Houston, and, I mean, there were several games where they had bases loaded, and they could not bring anybody in. And there was news coming out this morning, early this morning, maybe even late last night, that Dusty Baker is now going to step down. So I think he was hoping to go out on top. But if that's the case, what a storied career for him, and a lot to be proud of. You look at this team and how many times in a row that they've been in the ALCS, just an unbelievable run for Houston. I don't think it's over. And so fans, don't get upset. You know, sports is one of those weird things where we get excited, we cheer on our team, and then they let us down, and then guess what? It all resets again next year. So the cycle never ends in the sports world. So Astros fans, don't beat yourself up over it. Everything will be all right. I wanted to let you know, too. Yeah, Clay was saying that was a bad game. Yeah, I think it was, Clay. I know you weren't too happy with the results. And Grace was also letting us know she's going to bring by some flowers. Grace, if you could bring those by tomorrow, that would be awesome. She is over at Sweet Caroline's Floral Shop, and we're looking forward to giving away a beautiful bouquet of flowers this week as well, along with Clay's candy that he's brought with us. So, yeah, Grace, bring those over tomorrow. We'd love to give them away on the show. Also, Randolph Thompson over at Granny Mary's letting us know that he's out there. He said there's a place to be. Man, where'd you come up with this, Randy? He said there's a place to be, as you can see. It carries the Huntsville city to glee. So gather around and listen to this town of all the good things around. Man, come on. Randy's going to have to, I'm going to have to send him some royalties for this. So appreciate that, Randy. Good to hear from you this morning. And Grace, looking forward to having you in the morning as well. Well, friends, we'll step aside. We'll take a break. Vickie McKenzie joining us when we come back on the other side. Before we take that break, do want to remind you this week's keyword continues. It's spooky, along with your name, SPOOKY. Don't put a P. Don't make sure you put the S on there. It's spooky, again, with your name. Text that into the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. Again, that number is 936-339-0139 as we continue to celebrate all things good happening in Huntsville. We'll step aside for national news. Thanks some of our sponsors, and Vickie joins us on the other side. Stay with us. As always, it's your show. Good morning, Huntsville.
USA News, I'm Lance Pry. President Biden will award the National Medal of Science and the National Medal of Technology and Innovation today. That'll be taking place in the East Room at 11:30 this morning Eastern. Tonight at 6, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and his partner Jody Hayden will meet the President and First Lady in the South Portico part of the White House. Federal prosecutors will reportedly sit down for a couple of closed-door interviews this week as part of the House Judiciary Committee's investigation into alleged politicization of the Hunter Biden investigation. U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California, Martin Estrada, is set to meet with the committee today, while the Justice Department Tax Division Attorney, Stuart Goldberg, will meet tomorrow. Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz is proposing conditions for federal aid allocated to public schools for broadband internet.
Under his proposal, schools would need to implement restrictions on accessing social media platforms in order to be eligible for the federal funding. Additionally, Cruz's bill would establish guidelines to regulate the amount of screen time assigned to students as part of their academic coursework. In a statement, the Texas Republican characterized social media as addictive and distracting, expressing concerns about its potential to be misused or harmful to children. I'm John Schaefer.
The House remains without a speaker going on 3 weeks now. A speaker forum was held last night to hear from those who have filed to run, with an internal election slated for today. 8 contenders are now in the running. The moon may be 40 million years older than scientists have said in the past. A study published in Geochemical Perspectives Letters revealed molten crystals from the moon's surface suggests Earth's collision with the planet Theia, in theory, Creating the moon happened much
All right, Huntsville. We'll be right back. We have an echo now. So we'll be right back. Stay with us. Sorry, we had an internet outage. We'll be right back in a minute. All right. Hope that fixed it, Vickie. I think we are finally back on. So we apologize this morning. It's always a lot of fun when your internet goes out. But you know what? All is well in the world because we are here and we're rocking and rolling. We want to welcome you back in. Thanks for being with us. Every great once in a while, it's always funny because, some folks will say, well, you need to have like 2 or 3 backups. Well, 2 or 3 backups of internet, not cheap. I don't know of anyone that has 2 or 3 backups unless you're in the medical industry. I used to do IT work, and we would do backups for the medical companies on internet. I mean, these hospitals were paying, for small clinics, not hospitals. Hospitals were paying a lot. Small clinics were literally paying $2,000-$3,000 a month for connectivity services.
Yeah.
Because they have to be online. We don't have that budget here. If you'd like to sponsor the internet backup, $5,000 a month, we would gladly have you on. Just kidding. We're not going to do that. So we want to welcome you back in. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here. Vickie and McKenzie with us today.
Good morning.
Man, it's so good to see you, Vickie.
You too. It's great to be here.
Miss Sparky. I saw the Jeep roll up. Can you give us the history behind Sparky? I don't know if I've ever asked you this. Have I?
Let's see. I got Sparky in 2015 and fell in love with him, and I call it a him. My daughters and everybody's like, why did you pick a him? I don't know, because he's really tough and rough and tough. Anyway, so my favorite scripture is John 1:5, light shines in the darkness and the darkness doesn't overcome it. And this is before I moved to Huntsville, so I always said it just takes this tiny spark to create light. And so that's where Sparky came from. And then I moved to Huntsville, and I learned that the electric chair's name was Sparky.
So everybody probably thought that's what it was.
So, yeah. So I drive around with a Jeep named Sparky in Huntsville. And, it does have a scriptural meaning in it. And I won't change it because it's so near and dear to me. Sparky brought me so much joy, so.
I love it, Vickie. Yeah. I was thinking about, I know you wouldn't do it. I was looking, beautiful Jeep, by the way.
Thank you.
I was looking, and it says Sparky. What we're talking about is her Jeep, and it says Sparky on it. But I was thinking about, getting like a little decal, probably from the prison museum. I bet they have like a little sticker of the chair. Well, you probably wouldn't want to put that on your Jeep though, next to that.
Well, just intentionally, I wanted to put a sticker that says John 1:5 next to his name, just to kind of give it a
folks would know.
Yeah, I'm not really that morbid is the right word, I guess. Yeah. Here in Huntsville, anyway.
Well, it's great to be here this morning. Thanks everybody for being with us again. Sorry about the little glitch there a few moments ago. Apparently, our cable internet provider went down, so hopefully that'll be back up pretty soon. We were right in the middle. I think national news just finished up, and then all of a sudden, like, my screen went black on one of our remotes, and I was like, oh, and then I looked down, and whenever you see that little globe with like the X through it, not good.
No, not whenever you're streaming live.
But the good news is T-Mobile has reliable backup internet, and so I use my T-Mobile hotspot, courtesy of my buddy Nathan Height, who hooked me up with that for our new Waverly broadcast. And so we popped that up. We're back at it. So we want to welcome you back in. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here. We are joined by Vickie McKenzie of Vickie McKenzie Real Estate, and you can find her new guide on our website. She is one of our real estate experts. Terry Coleman also on there, but today we have Vickie on talking about all the great things happening in her life. What's been going on just with you? I know a lot of things happening, but what's been going on with you, the real estate world? Give us some updates.
Been very busy. Not a day goes by that I don't have something going on, that's for sure. And there's a lot going on in Huntsville. We always talk about that. You never can say there's nothing to do here. But I have a closing today at 2 o'clock over at Walker County.
I got to give you a high five on that one.
Very excited.
Congratulations.
It is a Homes for Heroes closing, so I get to honor a veteran from the Army.
Wonderful.
And very excited about that. And I'll be giving back almost 1% of the sale price of the home to him and donating my commissions to do that. And I gave 3 closings last month with Homes for Heroes. So very exciting. Been doing a lot with that. So
what has the journey been like? Because, you just hopped into this whole real estate deal. I mean, a year ago, were you a real estate agent a year ago?
Not full time. I started January this year.
That's
full-time,
right.
So almost a year.
Well, and I brought this up for a reason, because it's always awesome to be around folks who are passionate about what they do. And that's the inspiration maybe this morning is, find your passion, because when you find what you're passionate about, you're just going to find energy to go through with it. I was telling Bridget, especially after I love my children, but I feel like, I'll be 40 coming up in April around the corner. And I know some people laugh at that and other people, are like, oh, that's nothing. But to me, it's like, it feels like a lot, because it's like, man, 39 years are gone. But I was telling Bridget the other day, I was like, I'm just so exhausted all the time. And I do get plenty of rest. But the things that I enjoy, being around my children gives me energy. Being around Bridget gives me energy. And then doing this. And so, the encouragement this morning for folks is maybe just find your passion. You may be in a job right now. I'm not telling you to walk out of your job or not show up this morning because you still got to support your family and take care of things. But start making those steps. Start taking those chances and making those steps today to get to where you want to be. And I always say this too, Vickie, and I know that you can agree with this. You have to find joy where you're at.
Yes, absolutely.
If you're always searching for joy, you're just going to always be searching. For me, I thought, man, when we left, I was excited because we had an opportunity to finally be able to financially support our family in the way that we needed to. But then I realized I was just chasing joy. Yeah. And especially over the past 6 months, God's really put on my heart that you need to find joy where you're at.
Contentment.
Yeah,
yes.
Got to be there, because if you're just like, well, I'm not joyful right now, but man, it's coming. Well, no, man, you can't have that, because then it's always going to become. It's always going to be on the horizon.
You choose it when you wake up in the morning. Absolutely.
That's right. So that's the inspiration this morning. Is Kyle just said, "Wait, being around your kid gives you energy." It does.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yeah.
I guess it's because they're still like really young and they're not physically running really fast. And they're not on bicycles yet and all that. So maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, maybe not. But yeah, so think about that this morning. I know I'm kind of bouncing around, but think about that this morning. What's your passion? Are you truly pursuing your passion, or are you pursuing an unknown future, is the way that I worded it to a friend of mine, Kenny, many, many years ago. And so think about that this morning. And I brought all that up because you're so passionate about what you do, Vickie, that I really believe you're the type of person that anything that you want to do, you're going to find joy, you're going to find just a way to make it work. And this is a perfect example in the real estate business, just how you have got started. And I mean, I've talked to real estate folks, and I'm not putting any of them down. I have a lot of really good real estate friends, but there's some that got into it for a year and they're like, man, I've only sold 1 or 2 houses. And God has just really been blessing you because of the passion and the talent that you have in this industry. You're doing awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
So
I have some big goals, but I had those 5 years ago. I mean, it does take planning. It takes budgeting and sacrifices to get to where you can say, I'm going to walk away from a full-time paycheck or something and go for it. So it was a lot of planning going on for several years. I think I bought my real estate test. We talk about taking a test and how your time frame, you only have like a year to do it. Mm-hmm. And so I almost let that lapse. I had to crunch at the end, but I really planned it out for many years and just got to a point where I said, okay, we have what we need to get through. And then God just blessed and blessed and blessed. And, I got some bad news 3 months after I left my full-time employment, with my husband. And God never missed a day that he didn't continue to bless me with referrals. I'm just so thankful for all the referrals I get. And when that phone rings and somebody says, hey, can you help me? There's not a day that goes by. I say, absolutely, please, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to call me. Because I know everybody has a choice, and who you choose matters, at the end of the day. So, yes, very excited for that.
That's why I love having Vickie on the show too, because this is what we're all about, is just lifting up folks and encouraging folks. And when you're around Vickie, and I've known you since I came to Huntsville, 4 years ago or so in your previous job, there was always this joy, and it was always this like, man, I can't wait to talk to Vickie because she's always going to be joyful and she's always going to lift you up. And
Thank you.
I think it's so important for us in life to have that attitude. No matter what we're going through, maybe we're going through a really tough, dark season. The unexpected has came our way. Maybe there's something going on in a relationship or a family member, or even a friend, or maybe a colleague at work. But you know what, friends? Always continue to have that spark because
Yes.
it's gonna make a difference and change somebody else's life. I was dropping off some boxes yesterday at Goodwill, and last night, Braylon she just wanted out of the house, and I had like 4 boxes that I've been wanting to take, and I just cleaned out the garage, and so I was sitting there thinking like, all right, this is probably a good time it was 7 at night. I hate to go so late because we usually wind her down at 8 o'clock and put her to bed, but I could tell she was like wanting to go, and it's all thanks to Amy Pitcock of the Purple Cactus, by the way. Have you had
Okay.
her cookies yet?
No, I have not.
This is the deal. Amy hooked us up. She said, here's some extra treats at the farmer's market. And she has given away some baked goods here on the show before. Well, she hooked us up.
That.
Braylon ate one of those cookies last night, and she's like off the wire. So that's why I was like, I got to get her out of the house for a minute. So,
Yes.
Amy, they were great, by the way. I'm not complaining. So send more, please. We love them. But we went to Goodwill, and I brought that up because there was a gentleman there yesterday. And you can just, you always have to be receptive to other people. I'm not saying that you got to pry into everybody's business or try to get up in their face or whatever, but you can tell. I think whenever you have an open heart, there's a discernment, and I believe the Holy Spirit gives it to us at certain times as believers. And it's like there was this spirit of discernment that it was like, this gentleman's going through something. And so if you come across somebody and you feel something tugging at you, speak up. Whether it's voicing a prayer over that person or just simply giving them a hug.
Hello. Mm-hmm.
Or a hello. Yeah. Some people you may not want to hug. They may, what are you doing, man? I always joke in Huntsville, we can say I love you and hug people, most people. But it was cool just to chat with this gentleman briefly. I mean, it was a 5-minute conversation, but learned a little bit about his story. And he told me his name was T.O. And I said, well, man, I'm a Cowboys fan. And I said, that former T.O. at Dallas, Terrell Owens, he ain't got nothing on you, man. You're the real deal. So we were having some fun. But I just wanted to bring that up this morning as well. Vickie McKenzie, real estate agent with us here on Good Morning Huntsville. You've talked about just great things happening in the real estate world. What's going on right now, I guess, with the markets? I'm starting to see more and more houses popping up. But as I do, I'm starting to see them sell now. It seems like things, despite interest rates, are maybe kind of on the up and up again. Do you feel that? What's going on?
I think people have just settled into the new norm, and know that there's options for refinancing. I mean, a lot of the people that have the 2% and all that they got a couple years ago, they may have went into a mortgage at 6-7% and then refinanced. So people are understanding that, either they're having more babies and need more space, or they're downsizing because their houses are too much for them. But I've had 3 deals that had multiple offers that I was representing buyers, and that's not always very fun. So there's definitely a lot of activity going on out there right now. We are lucky in Huntsville. I guess it's lucky or maybe not lucky because you fall in love with people and then all of a sudden they get transferred or whatever, because we have so many, with the university and stuff. But there's a lot of homes available. It's just going to be a matter of the price point, which is why I'm working with the developer to bring in a little bit more affordable type houses in the future, hopefully very soon. We're going to bring that to council the second meeting of November. So I'm very excited to bring some affordable housing to Huntsville, something that, the average blue-collar median income worker can afford. But as of right now, I mean, there's inventory out there, and there's a lot of beautiful homes for sale. And people are buying them, and that's a great thing. So it's the interest rates is what it is. It's really about the home, and the home is what you make it. And if you can afford it and you budget and plan and all of those good things, hopefully we're going to see in the next year the interest rates start to go back down. And then once you settle in, then you're just going to have some bonus money when you refinance, I would say.
Isn't it, is it still safe to say that, purchasing a home may be one of your greatest investments?
It is. And, the equity that you can get is really what catapults you to the next purchase. You're able to size up usually, or you're able, because you have that equity in your home. And now if you bought in 2021 and 2022 and have to sell right now, you might be in a pretty tough situation. And I have seen that. I mean, I had a deal where I saw the closing statement where the owner walked away after 2 years with like $1,600, you know, because the numbers have went down from what it was. But then again, that's with the interest rate going up. Just plan on, if you buy now, when sales are lower, the price is lower, you know, you can refinance later on when they drop. But as soon as those interest rates drop, the prices go back up.
I know
That's
for
how
us,
that works.
we were really. I remember one person said, "Man, I'm really nervous, Rob, that you bought this house. I was paying rent in Georgetown, like $1,200 a month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. I was sharing it with a roommate, but then he moved out, and so I was kind of left with that, and I could barely afford it. And so I was getting by, but the opportunity to purchase a home came up, and I'll never forget. One guy told me, he's like, I just think it's a bad idea. It's going to put a lot of stress on you. And I ignored him just because I've heard so many others that were telling me, like, the house is your greatest asset. The house is great. Treat it like a bank account. You know, in our area, now some areas, like other areas, you hear about like terrible housing crisis and like, you know, people were trying to sell houses or give them away just because of the taxes they owed, you know, in some of the states up north back in the day during the big recession that we had in 2008. But I bought my house in 2006. I think I was, maybe 21, 22. But I just remember because I was renting this apartment and it was so expensive. To me, I was like, I'm paying $1,200 a month. Why don't I just go buy a house? And I think even that can ring true today because I see so many houses that are on the market for rentals that are considerably more than what you would pay in a mortgage.
Exactly.
And
No,
so
that's unfortunate for people who, you know, don't have the ability to create that down payment or have those credit scores. Credit scores so important today. I know there's financial gurus that say, you know, credit's not important, but honestly it is. It factors how much you pay for your car, how much you pay for your car insurance, how much you pay for your home I mean, everything is around that credit score. So if anybody wants help budgeting, I was a Dave Ramsey coach for years whenever I was at my old whenever I was at my old church. And I will sit down and help you get through the holidays. You know, that's the main thing is, you know, there's a lot of pressure about to happen with Black Friday and, you know, all the ads and then the kids' wants and everything else. And don't let, if you do have plans to buy a house in 2024, don't let the holidays derail you from those plans. And, you know, figure out what you're going to do with your income tax return for 2024. You know, let's sit down and really plan out the next 6 months. And you could see yourself, you know, owning a piece of the American dream, you know, by 2024.
Don't listen to the guy that told me years ago when I was, you know, trying to build my credit up and I was looking to buy a car. I've joked on the show about it. Literally, the guy goes, "No credit, don't sweat it." And I was like, no, I am going to sweat it because it's going to be like a 30% interest.
Yes, you do pay. If you don't have a high credit score, your car insurance, everything you pay more than the person who does have the higher credit score.
I've been in situations, and, you know, I'm transparent. I don't ever spill all my personal business, obviously. You don't want to go around telling everybody everything, especially on a public platform. There's certain things that you're dealing with internally, and you need to deal with those things within your circle. But there's some things that I'm open about, and I've had credit trouble. And I'm just saying that to inspire somebody else out there that, you know, whenever we were in Georgetown, things were rocking and rolling. Had my IT company, was doing great, paying the bills. And then just decided in 2018, I was like, man, I've been doing this for almost 15 years. I'm not pursuing my passion anymore. And so I sold that business, stepped out on faith, and we went through some pretty rocky, I would say turbulent financial times. And it came down to finally a year and a half after I sold the business. You know, we lived on that for a while, but it goes pretty quick when you don't have other income coming in. And we were living within our means. But I was, you know, started to say, man, I'm going to go find business, I guess, in the insurance world just so I can pay bills right now. And I'd started a couple of other projects that slowly had built up. But what I'm getting at is, you know, I went from having like really awesome credit to where I can like go in and boom, get that car and get great interest rates to like, oh, you probably don't even qualify for a car right now. And so maybe some of you have been in that situation. I want to tell you that there's always a way out. And I think the first thing is be honest with people. I'm not telling you to go tell everybody on social media what you're dealing with. But when you're talking to people, if you get into an issue with folks that you owe money to, just be honest with them.
Right.
Don't beat around the bush. Don't give excuses. Just say, look, and I know it like takes a hit on your pride. When I had to call certain people and say, hey, I'm going through a really rough time right now. Can you have some patience with me? Those people really appreciated that more than me just beating around the bush, not calling them back, not returning calls. I did start to get some of those calls on a couple of credit cards that I'd ran up, and folks were calling, and I said, I can't ignore these. I gotta hit this head on. And if you're nice to people, they're just there to do their job. People on the other phone, be nice to people. They're willing to work with you.
Oh yeah.
And don't get upset, if the bank hits you with a service charge. You know why? Because that is in your little document you sign. You agreed to that. So if you didn't want it, don't agree to it. And so I went through some pretty tough times, and then we kind of rebounded. Things were going great again. Came back, moved here to Huntsville finally, and I still was not in a position though to purchase a home because I was still rebuilding the credit score.
Yeah, takes a little time.
I think I was working with a really awesome gentleman by the name of Russell Barnett, and my score had to get back up to a 630. I had talked to someone else, great guy, and but the method that they had didn't work for me. Russell said, no, like quit all that you're doing and listen to me. And he said, do this, 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 and this. And he goes, in the next 6 to 8 months, I guarantee you're going to be ready to purchase a home. I did exactly what he told me, got everything back up to where it needed to be, and then we were able to purchase a home again. And I'll be honest, like, Vickie, in that moment, before I'd met him and he guided me through this, I thought, man, I'm never going to be able to buy a house again.
Right.
Like,
I work
it's
with
scary.
Russell a lot. I love him. I think I've closed 3 deals with him just recently.
Awesome.
And I cannot say enough about his work ethic. He's always available for his clients. And not the ones that are closing deals today. He's available. I mean, he's working with a couple right now that I sent to him to, plan for 2024 purchase. And I'm very excited to find them their dream home. It's a small family with 3 kids, and they're renting, and their rent is outrageous. And they're renting an old house that the electricity, I think they had like a $600 electric bill.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's get them in a house that's energy efficient, new, and all that good stuff. And they're going to save a lot of money, and I'm excited for that.
Here's something else, too. That
doesn't happen overnight, though.
No, it does not. And this is something else, Vickie, as you were talking about this, that I think really, makes you so special and unique. And Terry does the same thing. Y'all are both our real estate experts here on Hello Huntsville. And I love what you said, though, about, they're not ready right now, but I'm kind of helping get them ready. And there's some agents out there, again, not putting any of them down. Some agents are just looking for the quick sell and to move on, and I get that. But then there's folks who really want to help people. And I'm not saying that those other people don't. It's just they have a different idea about how they want to do business. But I think it means so much more to have somebody like Vickie who's saying, you know what? I'm going to be here for you in the long run. This isn't just going to be some quick sell. Hey, wham, bam, see you later, thank you. It's going to be, here's how we get from point A to point B, and I'm going to guide you through that. Maybe explain a little bit more about that process, as you work with families who are renting now, and you may know that it's going to be a year or so before they're able to buy a home.
I think the most important thing is it's what they call a soft pull, and it doesn't impact your credit score at all, but it's getting to where the lender can see where you're at in your credit score, and then getting that budget together and saying, this is what we're going to need. There's a lot of homes here in Huntsville that qualify for USDA, but then there's income requirements and different stuff like that. So really understanding what your spending habits are and where your money's going, because again, if you're in an older, house that, your utilities are high, there's a lot of cost savings that people don't realize that whenever they get into their own home, that they will have. And so really just sitting down and get the budget together and seeing what you can afford, and then working around that, seeing, what's available for first-time home buyers. There's a lot of discounts and things for that. There's things for, like I said, USDA. We're in a great area to get a lot of down payment assistance. So if this is your first time, or if you haven't bought a home in 3 years, you also qualify for first-time home buyer. So you may have owned a home, 5 years ago and sold it, but you do still qualify after 3 years of not owning a home. You'll qualify for those benefits as well. And then, of course, if you are a teacher or a medical worker, first responder, or military, then if we can get you Homes for Heroes, that also, I like to present it as a check after closing, but it could also be a money to go towards closing. So we'll sit down and get all that stuff, because there's inspections. You have to pay for that up front. There's appraisals. You have to pay for that up front. So there is some out-of-pocket expenses that we want to make sure that you have, so that you're not going through the home buying process and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I didn't expect this. Oh, I didn't expect that. A lot of people think that you have to put 20% down. There are 5% down, 3% down packages out there that you can get, and so it's really going to see Russell does a great job of saying if you put this much down, this is what you're going to get. And this is over the life of the loan, what your savings will be. And really for you to determine, and then if you want the numbers to look like that, then you just start working towards the goal, and we'll do that together.
It's
Absolutely.
a good feeling at closing whenever you walk out with a check. Now things were a lot different in 2006 than they are here in 2023. I think any mom, pop, and kitty cat could open up their own mortgage lending business back then. Things have changed, thankfully, because things were a little bit out of control back then. But I'll never forget when I purchased that home, Vickie. I walked out of there with a $2,000 check. I had zero down, $2,000 in my pocket, and it was just part of the deal that I negotiated, saying, hey, this is double pane glass. One of the panes is broken. There were some appliances that came with the house that were broken, and so they agreed to that because they were ready to sell. And and I always look for those deals too. Don't be afraid. I think the biggest thing, Vickie, you're the expert at this, but I would say as a consumer, don't be afraid to ask if you're purchasing a home. Don't be afraid to ask somebody like, hey, you got this listed for $299. Are you willing to take $269?
Right.
There was a gentleman, our former manager, the best manager I've ever had in my life, Dave Donahue. He used to be at the local radio station, and I still talk to him probably once a month. And Dave was telling me a story about a lake house, and I think it was his family that he and his wife had purchased way back in the day. And he had mentioned that and he and I would always just have these awesome 30-minute conversations after work every day. It was like this cool creative brainstorming session.
Yeah.
And he and I would just start talking, and then we were both like, man, we got to go. It's like 6 o'clock. We're supposed to be out of here. But he was telling me about this lake house, and it had been on the market for a while, and it was I think it was his wife that said hey, just ask for half of what they're offering. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. And they're like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen?
Say no.
Say no. Well, guess what? They didn't say no. They took the offer.
Wow.
So that's not going to happen all the time, and you may offend somebody. But I don't think there's any issue with the consumer saying, hey, this is $299. Are you willing to do $279? Do you run into that quite a bit?
Oh, yeah, a whole lot. And then also a lot of people have the issues with the interest rates being high right now, but you can buy those down. And so I negotiate in the concessions to buy down the interest rate. And it's over the life of the loan, you can $300,000 house, you can buy 1% down of interest. And let's say that costs you $3,000. Well, if you were to take $3,000 off the price of the home, then you've just got $3,000. But you take 1% off the interest rate, you've got $40,000 over the life of the loan. So you really want to put those numbers. I'm a numbers person. I always have. I've always made, city council budgets and everything else. But, the numbers, where can you maximize that money? If you are going to get money from the seller, how can you use it to your advantage over the life of, owning that home instead of just, I got them to come down $3,000. So the concessions and stuff, we have one that bought down 3 points.
Wow.
So you're allowed to get certain types of loans. A VA, you're allowed to get 4% in concessions. And so that can literally buy down rates, almost 2%.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're close to 2 if you bought that bad boy down now.
Yes.
So
it's really great. Really good.
Well, Vickie McKenzie, Vickie McKenzie joining us here this morning on Good Morning Huntsville. She is our real estate expert. Kid, do you still have a few moments?
I do. I was going to say, you were talking about the ballot and how long it was and the 24 amendments that the city has on there and how it might be a little
Let's talk about
taxing.
some of that here in a moment. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't, because we're getting close to 8, but I know we had that outage. So let's step aside. We'll take a break. Do want to remind folks this morning, our keyword is up. All you got to do is text in the keyword spooky. I just like saying that, I don't know why. I'll be happy. I won't be happy when Halloween's over. Braylon is having such a fun time right now with Halloween. Keyword spooky. We bought a witch last night, by the way. It's one that looks like she hit the wall.
Oh.
And tonight I'm going to mount it on top of above the garage on the peak, or what do you call that? I guess the peak of the roof.
Pitch.
Yeah, the pitch. There you go. See, Kyle over here too. He knows. He's going through some of that stuff. He understands the pitch and the peak and all that stuff. But the keyword is spooky alongside your name. Text that in on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. Again, a lot of folks joining us on Spirit Radio this morning as well. So just text in spooky with your name on that Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line one final time, 936-339-0139. We are giving away a little $35 value tub of freeze-dried Skittles. If you never had them, trust me, you're going to want them after you've had them. You're going to want them every single day because that's how good they are. We'll step aside, take a break, continue to let us know that you're out there, Huntsville. As always, this is your show. We'll be right back. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Hey friends, Rob Hip here. As a guy, jewelry's not really my thing. I never know what I'm looking for. I feel uncomfortable, and I just don't understand how certain things look good together. But that's why I depend on Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Whenever Bridget and I wanted to get engaged, we said, we need to go to a place to where someone's going to take care of us. They're going to make me feel comfortable as a guy, but they're also going to take care of her needs as well. So I went into Elliot's, and he was so gracious and compassionate with my understanding, and I wanted something that looked a little masculine for my engagement band, and he said, I've got the perfect thing for you. And he found some white hammered gold that was trimmed in 14 karat gold, also put a diamond on that ring to signify my love for Bridget. And as we grow and our family grows, we can put a diamond around the rest of those. So friends, if you're looking for someone that is dedicated to customer service, that understands the needs of people and does what's right all the time, there's nobody better than my friend. It's Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com. Are you a first responder, medical professional, teacher, or military member looking to buy or sell a home in Walker or Montgomery County? Vickie McKenzie Realtor is here to make your dream home a reality.
Hi, I'm Vickie McKenzie, and I know that heroes like you deserve special treatment. That's why I've partnered with Homes for Heroes.
Homes for Heroes offers financial benefits for heroes who are buying or selling their homes. And when you work with Vickie, she presents the hero with a check equivalent to nearly 1% of the home selling price.
That's right. I want to give back to those who serve our community and our nation every day.
Imagine walking into your dream home knowing that you've been rewarded for your hard work and dedication for serving your community.
Visit my website at themckenziegroup.tx.com to start your home search or to learn more about how I can assist you.
Don't wait. Make your next move with Vickie McKenzie and contribute to a cause that supports our local heroes.
Visit themckenziegroup.tx.com today because heroes like you deserve a home to call their own.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you. Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin and Murphy, and even offer hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why, at the Color Bar Hair Salon, you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
All right, Huntsville back at it here as we continue to celebrate all good things here in Huntsville. You know, Vickie, I'll never take that for granted, ever.
No.
Never. Because it is such a great place. I was thinking last night, I was laying down to go to sleep, and I was thinking, like, just how blessed we are to be here in Huntsville.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I know we've been talking a lot about home buying and real estate things and just awesome things that you're doing in the community. Again, Vickie McKenzie Real Estate, joining us here this morning for all of your home buying, selling, whatever you need. She's going to help you out. Maybe you're renting today, you want to buy tomorrow. She can be that person. She is the real estate expert that can help you through that whole situation. One of our 2 experts here on Hello Huntsville. Love having you, love promoting it. But I was telling Bridget, I was like, I felt really blessed to be here, to be back in our home. Originally we weren't planning on coming back until September, and then some things kind of out of our control kind of forced us to move back here earlier. I'm kind of thankful because we were going to move in with her parents for a while. So I'm like glad that things happened the way that they did. You always have to find like the silver lining, right?
Yes.
And so I'm glad that things worked out the way that they did. But I go back to when we were talking about equity earlier and why buying a home is so important. If you buy a home today and you sell it tomorrow, you're probably going to lose money, let's be honest. But if you buy a home today and you wait 2 years and you sell it, you may make a little bit.
Right.
And we've had our home almost 2 years now, and I looked at the equity just here, and we got a really good deal on our home. A wonderful, wonderful lady. I've never been like, I don't think it's good to like become buddies with the person you buy a house from. Maybe it's not a good thing. But this lady, we chatted with her, and she's so sweet. And like we're friends on Facebook, and we chat every once in a while, and it's really cool. And she had to move, and so we got a really good deal on the home. And then I looked at like what it just got appraised at, and I was like, my goodness, like if we sold it today, we probably would be okay, And we're only 2 years into it. It's like a little property I bought out at Lake Buchanan that I've mentioned before. We paid like $3,000 for this little small lot in the hill country years ago. It's like $3,000 is all I paid for that lot. Kind of frustrated because my mom called me. I still have my parents' address as like the registered mailing because I'd moved so much in the last 5 years. I didn't want stuff to get lost. She called me last night. She said, hey, the tax stuff came in for your little property. I used to pay literally $25 a year for that little piece of property. Well, now it's $180 a year. It's went from $3,000 to over $15,000 in appraised value.
Wow, that's
so it's
really
great, right?
Yes.
If you want to sell it, but I don't want to sell it. I want to keep it. So, anyways, Vickie joining us, Vickie McKenzie Real Estate. How can folks find out? Where can they connect with you? Those kind of things.
I'm on Facebook and Instagram. We also have the McKenzieGroupTX.com website that you can connect with me on. There's resources. There's like a buyer's questionnaire under the resources that you can go to. And, of course, Facebook and Instagram are my favorite ways to connect because then I get to know the people and I get to enjoy getting to learn, my clients and such. So then there's always my phone number, 281-330-9053. I'm also going to be out at Harts Museum Saturday for the trunk or treat. You can come meet me there. Or on Halloween, I'll be at Chick-fil-A with the Jeep group doing a trunk or treat there.
Awesome. And also on Friday nights, whenever you tune in to New Waverly Bulldog football, we've been getting a lot of engagement, and those young men are doing pretty well. Started out rough, but they played some really good teams. They were like 0-4, 0-3 to start the season, but they're now 3-1 in district play, so they're doing really well. But we have our official Vickie McKenzie Real Estate Red Zone. So, and they've been in the red zone a lot during district play, and so whenever they get in there, we always say, we're inside the Vickie McKenzie Real Estate Red Zone. Step into the red zone with Vickie McKenzie. Your perfect home is just a play away. I like that.
That's right. I
So,
love it.
so you can hear that every Friday night. We appreciate the generous support from Vickie and helping to make that coverage possible. As kids have never had anything like that, and we couldn't do it without the generous support of folks like Vickie. So we appreciate that. Can we talk a little election stuff? Is that okay?
Sure.
Like ballot stuff?
Yes,
Is
it's
that
a
all
big
right?
one this year. It is.
There's
It's not a presidential year, but it is a lot on the Huntsville ballot.
I can only imagine on the city council side, you guys like going through some of this.
Yes.
It's probably been a fun, quote unquote, fun process. But I know you enjoy that kind of stuff. But there's a lot on there. There's a ton of things this year on the ballot.
Yes. So how that works, and just so every 5 years, so you're not going to see this every year. You only see it every 5 years, I promise. The council has to do the charter review, and we go through and we just really make sure that everything's current and that how the laws are reflected for what we follow as our charter. And the review committee is made up of half council members and half citizens. So we make sure that there's a good mix in there. So it's not just council decided we wanted to do this. We had 3 other citizens that were involved as well with that process. And so we spent 5 months going through the whole entire charter review, and it takes a long time to do that. So we had meetings almost weekly for a while towards the end to get the charter review all wrapped up so that it would be on the ballot this year. We knew next year with the presidential election would be a lot already on there, so we wanted to try to keep it where people could focus on just the charter review if they needed to. The biggest things on there really is about just getting, as things change and technology changes, a lot of those parts, I don't know if you noticed, was really just the wording changed to in accordance with state law.
I saw a lot of that.
So that right there is really about like a lot of towns and cities, their newspapers are no longer, we're blessed to have the Huntsville Item, but in the Walker County
Press,
yes.
Yeah, Wayne
yes.
Thibodeau.
Wayne,
Wade
yes.
Thibodeau.
Wade's
Yeah,
a great guy. So we do have print here, and we have 2. So, I don't see us in the next 5 years going in danger of not having a print, but a lot of those do, it takes out the word print and newspaper because so many people are about online resources. So we've kind of transitioned that to online resources mostly. And then there is the one that I think us council members are most near and dear to our heart is the going from a 2-year term to a 3-year term. And it's not so we can have a longer term, trust me. It's really so that we can have a year where all the council isn't, they're 100% not, there's not a new member on the council. So you've had a year to learn and acclimate. It's very interesting how your first year on council is. You really are just
learning,
observing and learning. Yeah, I don't think I really made any motions or did anything my first year. Now, I feel like I do them often.
You're
but
like, I want to get, I'll follow motion. I'll make a motion. I'll second.
I support this one, yeah. And so, learning all that first year and then understanding how the strategic plan works. There's things that I brought up 3 years ago in the strategic plan and for the city to go to work on that are just now starting to show up. And so to feel like you can actually get something accomplished for, what you think is the good for the citizens and such. But instead of doing 4 2-year terms, it would be 3 3-year terms. And we really think, number one, it's going to save money because we won't have to have, the city won't have to have an election every single year. So we'll save money once every 3 years. But then again, you'll have 100% council that everybody's been in position for at least 1 year every 3 years. And
so when you say
really
there's
nice.
3 for 3, so does that mean somebody could come on if they got reelected? Could they actually serve for 9 years?
Yes, so it'd be
awesome.
instead of 8. So right now, if you serve, you term out at 8 years. So it's actually adding only 1 more year.
Yeah, but it's good though, and it's such a good point. And friends, I know sometimes when you start talking like city and government and all that, there's like, there's this barrier. I don't feel like that's the case here in Huntsville. All you got to do is talk to, this community has been so welcoming. Anytime I've had questions, I've called the city directly. Mm-hmm. I've talked to Mayor Broniger. I've talked to Aaron Colhavy. I've talked to Tammy Gann. Everyone is so open about wanting to help here in Huntsville. Yes. And I'll be honest, there's not a lot of communities. And that's why I say, if you have concerns, show up. be there on those Tuesday meetings. When are they're the first and the third Tuesdays?
First and third Tuesday of every month.
6 o'clock at the public library.
Yes.
Okay, somehow I remembered that. That's Lisa Branch over at Learning RX. I'm starting to remember things.
She's a miracle worker.
But come out and be a part of it. And I know sometimes when you're sitting there like, oh, this is boring, this and that. But look, it's once you really start to be engaged, it's actually a lot of fun just to understand how the civic process works within the city government. Following things like Robert's Rules of Order and those kind of things. It's really neat. And the best way to get involved, in my opinion, is serve on an advisory committee to start with. I was on the Tourism and Advisory Committee. I was the chair of that before we left. And it was fun just understanding the process and how that works together. And then it was kind of cool because you actually set up in the city hall. I was like, oh, man, I'm sitting in the council chambers in the council chair. It kind of felt, it's kind of cool,
Yeah, wait till the new city hall's built. It's really going to feel cool.
But it's neat, though. Above all that, of course, I'm just joking. But it's cool, though, to understand how the process works. And friends, people aren't doing this for money. I think you only get paid $10 a month. I think it's going up to 20 if that gets voted.
It did not. Yeah.
So it's not like people are making a ton of money, serving. It's something that you do because you have a servant's heart and you want to be there to be a voice for the community. And
most of us actually donate our earnings back to the Huntsville Scholarship Committee.
There you go.
So for Huntsville city employees, for their kids that are at Huntsville High School.
Yeah, well, I love that. And one thing that I really like, too, about the way our council is set up, and I didn't experience this where I grew up, is they have the at-large positions. And I think that's really neat because you have wards, different areas, or some communities call them districts, but here it's wards. It's really neat because there's these at-large positions. So maybe you're like, hey, I'd like to run, but I also don't want to step on so-and-so because they may be a close friend of mine, and I don't want to run against them, but there's an at-large position open. And now, instead of just representing my little area, now I can represent the whole city.
Yes.
And so that's something that intrigues me whenever you think about being able to serve at the capacity of kind of being a voice for the community and serving at those at-large positions. Pretty neat.
It is very nice. I'm an at-large position 3, I believe. And so the at-large positions run next year. And I just always tell people when they ask, well, what's it like being on city council? I said, well, I recommend, and I wish I would have been on a board first and really got to understand those processes and stuff, because I think I would have, my first term would have been a lot easier than it was. But now that I'm on my second term, I'm a lot more comfortable in my skin and the position, and a lot more passionate, I think, more than anything about, just making sure that the city employees are taken care of and making sure that, the conditions that our citizens have around the city with our roads and streets and our infrastructure. The fact that we were in a drought season and didn't have to ration water where many cities do have to, that is something to be said about the work of our city employees. So
yeah, absolutely. And it's just, again, friends, I always say this, please don't take things for granted. Just be thankful the community we live in. And yeah, if there's things that need to be changed, show up to the meetings and start being involved. It's so easy. And I'm not calling anybody out because I used to be this person. And sometimes maybe I still am every once in a while. But now it's kind of in my spirit to know, like, wait a minute, don't think like that because you haven't even been involved in it. So if there's an issue that you have with something, I just encourage you to get up and show up. And that's the biggest thing, and voice your concerns.
Yes, and I am very open. I love getting feedback from people, hey, y'all should do this or y'all need to do that. You hear a lot of people who have their opinions, and it is their opinion, and some things can happen in go from one meeting to the next and we can make something happen. And then there's other things that it may take, like I said, 3-4 years to see happen. I mean, there's a road that we want to have widened, and 2 years ago, it finally got on the budget for the road planning, but it's like 5 years from now when that road's going to get done, and that's just how that money works, and it has to go so far. But even though we want a road widened, it doesn't mean it's going to be done. I was so excited. TxDOT is changing 1374 between 45 and 75, and there's actually going to be a turning lane.
Oh, awesome.
I'm so excited because, I don't know, you go to that food truck park, Arnold's, and it's almost scary either getting out or getting into it, but man, the food is so good. You're just like, I'm going to risk my life to get here.
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
Arnold's worth the turn. It's going to be the
But there's
motto.
going to be a turning lane there after the summer, so
Awesome.
yeah, they're going to do that. And so you learn a lot about what's going on in the city and the city's needs, and we recognize those things. It's just some things take a whole lot longer than what we expected.
That's right. So, well, again, Vickie, we appreciate your passion, not only in your professional career, but in your community service career. It is a career when you serve your community. And so there's a lot that goes into it. You don't just show up. I was talking the other day to there's two guys in the broadcasting world that I've been mentoring. One of them is a little bit older than me, and they were asking, how do I get to the next level? And I had reshared the TV broadcast from Bearcat game the other day. And, the announcer there had mentioned something about some little tidbit that I had no idea. And I was thinking about the two guys that I was mentoring, and I said, the difference, and I told one of the guys, I said, the difference between getting to that next level is, I said, professionals, they get up and they show up. I said, some guys just show up. And that's okay. But then if you want to get to the next level, though, you not only just have to show up, but you also have to do the work behind the scenes. And in the sports broadcasting world, it's talking to coaches, going to practices. Those are all things when I first started broadcasting at the high school level that I didn't really understand. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, I thought I could just show up, call a game, look at a roster, be good to go, watch a couple of videos. But then I learned really quickly, you have to engage with the coaches, got to go to practices. And the more involved and the more vested you are, the more opportunities will come your way.
Absolutely.
And I think that's true in any industry. And Vickie, you've kind of been a walking, living, breathing fact of, hey, this is what will happen if you get involved in not only serving our community, but being involved in your career as well in the real estate business.
Yes.
And now the fruits of all of that are starting to blossom, and it's great to see it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love it.
Well, Vickie McKenzie, again, you can find her online. Go to her website, by the way, at themckenziegroup.com, themckenziegroup.tx.com. So you can find out more information, themckenziegroup.tx.com, or you can also give her a call at 281-330-9053. Every time I see that number, I think of that Mike Jones rap song. Were you on that one time when I did that? Yeah, there's a rapper out of Houston back in the day, and he'd always go. And he said his phone number in the song. It was legitimately, and he was a pretty big, well-known rapper back in the day, but he's like, give me a call. It's like 281-830-8004, Mike Jones. And that was in his song, and it was literally his number, and tens of thousands of people started calling his phone number. So don't give out your phone numbers if you're a national rapper, So
Please call me.
but call Vickie at 281-330-9063.
53.
Oh, yeah. 281-330-9053 for the best real estate agency.
That's right.
Yeah, I was trying to rhyme 3 with something.
There you go.
3.
Agency.
The agent to be. I don't know, but give her a call. We'll take one break. Can you hang out with us for one final segment?
Sure.
We'll very quickly take a break, and when we come back, we're going to call our winner. $35 value of freeze-dried Skittles. When you get it, though, half of them may be gone because Vickie and I are going to open this up and take them. Just kidding, we're not. Final opportunity, text in that keyword spooky along with your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. We'll be right back, and we'll call our winner when we come back. Stay with us. This is your show as always. It is Good Morning Huntsville.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success, too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at GuardianDefenseLLC.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
Welcome back, friends, as we continue to lift you up this morning here on Good Morning Huntsville. We hope that all of you are having a wonderful and blessed Tuesday, a little yay Tuesday as we rock and roll here. Our good friend Vickie McKenzie of Vickie McKenzie Real Estate joining us as always. She's here with us once a month, so we should have had like a prize. We should have had balloons, flowers. Vickie, I'm sorry we didn't have any of that this time. Big thanks too to Jamie Saucier Woodworks for our wonderful sign that he made for us. Always want to give him a shout out. We appreciate that, Jamie, and hope that you are off to a wonderful Tuesday. Is almost said Wednesday, Tuesday as well. So. Vickie, let's head over to our Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. Our randomizer has selected a winner today, and this person, I believe, has won before.
Uh-oh.
I think she's won twice, maybe.
These Skittles look good. My mouth's watering over them.
Hi, this is Cecilia.
Cecilia, Rob from Hello Huntsville. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Congratulations. Yeah, I'm doing wonderful. You are our lucky winner today of these beautiful,
Yay.
delicious freeze-dried Skittles. And Vickie McKenzie and I are going to eat half of them before we give them to you, all right? I'm just kidding.
Help yourself. This will be like the 50th
yummy.
time, huh?
Yeah, well, congratulations. How have you been, Cecilia?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm actually getting ready to go to school. I work at like 9, so I gotta go fight for the parking.
We got to let you go then. Hey, I did want to say, I think it was your dad that I met at Rotary. He spoke to us. Was he the one that does the Aikido?
Verbal Aikido, yes.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I want to have him on the show sometime. Verbal Aikido, it's really cool. It's like a way to like deflect like conflict and like the whole thing, Cecilia, but I need to get him on the show to describe it. It's really cool. So anyways, so
that'd be super neat. I watch every morning, so
awesome.
Definitely want to see if he does.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that, Cecilia. And are you a senior at Sam? Was that right?
Yeah, I'm about to graduate this semester in December.
Are you going to leave us in Huntsville and go on somewhere else?
No, actually, I've been looking at positions in Huntsville, especially after I worked with the chamber. It was a really good opportunity to kind of meet Huntsville business in general.
Yeah, well,
so I'm hoping I can work local. Awesome. Also, I just like the small town over the big city. Like, Houston is where the jobs are, but I kind of like the small town feel. I still like Huntsville.
Well, that's great. And then once you find that great job, and things start coming in, which they will because you're very talented, Vickie McKenzie will be here to sell you a home, get you set up.
Right?
Working on that now.
I know. I'll keep that in mind.
All right. Well, hey, Cecilia, God bless you. Have a great day, and thanks so much. We'll text you on when you can pick this up.
Enjoy your Skittles.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. You enjoy them, too.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
That's why I love young people that listen to the show. And Cecilia, we had her on when she was interning at the chamber, and her father spoke at Rotary here recently, and just a great guy. And just love, I love hearing that. Of course, I want what's best for young people, but to hear that she's like, no, I want to stay here and find something here. That is, especially from someone like you that's involved with the city at the level that you are, that's got to just like touch your heart and say, wow, we're doing something right here in Huntsville.
Absolutely. That's the whole reason why I'm looking on for a development that is new homes that are affordable to, our citizens and stuff like that. So I'm working really hard to make all that happen. Because, that was one of the things when I judged Miss Sam Houston, I asked all the contestants, I said, you fall in love with Huntsville for 4 years, you call it home, what can the city do better to retain the talent that's graduating? And one of the things that really stuck out to me, and I don't think I was a real estate agent yet. I think it was the year before I became a real estate agent. But she said, well, it's just really nowhere to live here. And so that stuck with me. It made made me want to do something about that.
Yeah. Well, Vickie, we appreciate you. Thanks for all that you do here in the community. And if you see Sparky driving around, be nice because
Jeep Wave.
It's Jeep Wave, and it is not the electric chair.
It's not.
Definitely not. It has a very, very deep biblical reference, and so be the spark in the community that will shock the world.
That's right. Bring a smile. Sparky brings a smile to people's faces. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Vickie, thanks so much. Excited to have you back on next month. We'll have you on once a month. And again, you can find more about Vickie on our website at the McKenzieGroupTX.com for all of your home buying or selling needs. She is one of our real estate experts here on Hello Huntsville. And we'll have you on next month, and continue to follow the articles on our website as well under guides and features and real estate experts.
Yes, thank you.
All right, friends, that'll wrap it up. I got to get to preferred partners. I think I'm still going to run over there. We were just running late because of the internet outage. But friends, we'll be back on tomorrow bright and early. We're going to have two guests on tomorrow. Hope's Bridge will be with us, and then also Vance Howard going to be with us as well, sharing information about the Cafe Texan. He's got a wonderful presentation that he has put together that we'll share on the show as well. So make sure you join us tomorrow. Going to be another great show as we have guests lined up all week long. And we'll be with Rick and Kay Boning tomorrow at 7 a.m. on the money. Because Miss Kay, she wants me to get started right at 7. So
I'll be listening on Spirit Radio because I'll be driving by then.
Awesome. Well, friends, until then, reminding you, as I always do, and don't take this for granted, don't let it just flow through your ears, but really listen to this. Let it settle in your heart. I want to remind you that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We really aren't, friends. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Please lend a hand of support because somebody out there today needs you. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you back at it bright and early tomorrow, 7 a.m.
Bye.
Thank you.